So we're getting right close to tax season now. I feel like it's tax season already. And so I have a lot of people asking me about how to pay less in income tax. So here are my top 3 tips on how to pay less in income tax. This is a small business edition. So if you don't have a small business, I will speak to you in a later post. Back to what we're talking about. Small businesses paying less in taxes, because paying taxes is good in the sense that it funds a lot of the things that we need, like roads and hospitals and stuff like that. But we don't want to pay more than we need to, right? So 3 tips. Tip number 1, deduct as much as legally possible. I know that's an obvious one, because obviously you want to deduct as many expenses as possible, but it's something that, believe it or not, some small business owners do not do a very good job of. So deduct as much as legally possible. What do I mean by that? Well, the guidance from the Canada Revenue Agency says that any reasonable current expense paid or will have to pay to earn business income. That's what reasonable expense means. So think really hard about what it takes to run your company. What do you have to spend money on? Things like your use of home, or use of home is mortgage interest if you have a mortgage interest, and property taxes, utilities, that kind of thing. Do you need your car? Do you take clients out to eat? If you have a dog sitting service, maybe it's dog food. I don't know. Think really hard. What do you have to spend money on in order to run your business? And if you're not sure, ask a professional for help, or a lot of times you can Google the answer. I would be looking on the CRA's website specifically, but pro tip, the CRA's search function is not that good. Google actually searches the CRA's website better than the CRA. So I recommend searching in Google whatever it is that you're looking for, and then make sure that you hit the canada.ca option, because that's the CRA's website. So that you make sure you get a reputable source for that. So, okay, deduct everything legally possible. Number 2, keep your business and your personal finances separate. Yeah, trust me on this one. Because when it comes to tax season, or it comes to tax time, you don't want to be trying to pull all that stuff apart, because it's not fun. And usually there's a ton of stuff, and if you're doing a whole year, then a lot of times it's what did I go to this store for? It was something. Was it business? Was it personal? Even if you have a little note on there, or you have the receipt and you're looking and you're nah, I don't really remember what that was for. So that kind of goes back to deducting everything legally possible. If you keep things really, really separate, then you're able to ensure that you can deduct as much as possible. It also means that it's easier to prove later on, because if you have everything going through your personal account, then sometimes it's hard to prove to the CRA if you ever get asked to prove your expenses. Makes it a little muddy. So keep business and personal finances separate. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is be proactive. A lot of good tax strategies require decisions and actions to happen before the very last minute. So it's a really good idea to have a professional working with you if you have a more complex tax situation, so that you can make sure that you take advantage of all the deductions and credits and all the things that you can do to lower your tax bill. So I recommend having a professional help you out, even if it's just to answer some questions about your taxes. If you have a business and if your tax situation is a little bit more complicated than just a straight T4 scenario. So those are my 3 tips. Deduct as much as legally possible, keep your business and personal stuff separate, and be proactive about your tax strategies. Do those things, my friends, and you will pay less in income tax than you otherwise would. If If you want to chat with me about your taxes, do you have questions, or you're just not sure about how to proceed with something, I guess that means you would have a question. I've left the link to book a free call with me in the description, so you could have a free 30 minutes to get all those questions answered. Yeah, please do it. What is your takeaway from this video? Do you get anything surprising? Was there a surprise in there somewhere? Are you gonna make any changes? Keep, stop, improve? Anything? Let me know. I'd love to know. I'll see you tomorrow.